Hello and welcome to this tutorial for accessing the annual beginning of year online registration process. Here you have the opportunity to review and or update student information such as emergency contacts, address, your child's medical needs, and more. You will complete this process in the Infinite Campus parent portal for each of your students enrolled. The portal provides you access to monitor your child's attendance, grades, and some assessment reports. All San Jose Unified families have a campus parent portal account created. If you have never logged in or have forgotten your password, you can visit the portal homepage shown here to recover your password, username, or to log in for the first time. You can also visit the San Jose Unified School District website, search for Parent Portal, and you'll land on the Parent Portal page where you can receive information about downloading the app, who to contact for technical support with the app, and a variety of other options. So for purpose of today, we are going to walk you through the accessing of the annual update. So to do that, you are going to return to the home page once you have your login credentials and password ready to go. Once you log in, your first screen should look similar to what we see here. You'll see your student or students listed there on the screen. We're going to open up the menu that you can access in the upper left-hand corner of your screen. Scroll down to the More option, click on that, and then the final option in that menu will be the online registration for current and new students. So we're going to click there. On the next screen, we have two options: the annual update, which is what we're going to focus on today. You also have the option there to register or to begin the enrollment process for a new student. So if that's something that you are looking to do, you can use that second option there. And for purpose of this tutorial, we're going to focus on the annual update. So we're going to click Start to begin. On the next screen, you'll see your students listed one more time. Click on the Begin button. And here is where we will verify your identification. So you're going to type in your name in the field to begin. We'll click Submit and then Begin. As you are ready to begin your review and update of information, you'll notice that there are several sections that will need to be completed, listed for you across the top there. As you complete each of the portions below, the system will automatically move you onto the next section without you needing to click through the top or keep track of where you are, where you have been. The review process and update process is available in both English and Spanish, so you can click on your language of preference there at the top. The first piece you'll do is acknowledge the receipt of the district handbook. The handbook is being provided to you via a PDF. You will need to click on this link here prior to acknowledging receipt of the handbook. So once you click on the link, you'll be able to view the handbook. The current copy available here in our tutorial video is the 24-25 handbook. However, when you receive the actual link, it will link directly to the updated handbook for 2025-2026. Once you open the handbook, you're definitely more than welcome to review the handbook in its entirety or refer to the sections of interest. In addition to just opening up the PDF before you can acknowledge receipt of the handbook, the next section will also ask you to acknowledge the review of the technology use. So that's a section you would want to review prior to acknowledging so that you are familiar with what is included there. So I'm going to close the screen here and come back to our update or information review. So I'm going to click that I've received the handbook. I'm going to click that I've reviewed the technology use policy after having done so. And then there is also a notice here about the San Jose Unified Safety Protocol Response Guide, which provides information about how San Jose Unified approaches safety, emergency procedures, and the terminology used to communicate about emergencies. So we encourage you to click on that link to review the guide and better understand those components. Once you have completed those pieces, you click on Next. You'll be prompted to review that your phone number is correct. If it's correct, you'll click Next. If you need to make an edit, you can update it directly there and it will update automatically. For purpose of this, I'm going to click Next to acknowledge that it's correct. For address here, it is asking whether the address is still current. I have had previously clicked on no for this particular family, which is why this field is open. So if that is the case and you reside at a new address, you have the opportunity here to update the address to the new living residence. The enrollment center will review this information if you are making an update to your address. They will still require you to submit the proofs of address. So simply completing the update here will not completely update the information in the student's Infinite Campus account until the proofs of address are submitted. So after submitting your new address here, that will flag the enrollment center to then follow up with you to provide those proofs. So for purpose of this family, we're going to say yes, the address is still current. I'm going to click on next. There's an option here for the families to provide their household income information. This allows San Jose Unified to claim from federal agencies how many students we have in our district that receive free and reduced lunch. And for those students, we receive additional funding to provide additional support and resources across our 42 schools in San Jose Unified. So here you will indicate the household size of your family. I'm going to select a random number for our family here, and then you can provide the annual household income there. Providing the household income, even though there is an option for the family to not, prefer not to answer, we do want families to be aware of the fact that all of our students will receive free and reduced lunch regardless. However, students who qualify based on their household size and their income range may be eligible for additional benefits over the course of the year, such as extended learning opportunity programs or ELOP programs, which are after-school programs that students can qualify for. The state of California also provides the debit cards, the Sunbucks cards during the summer. So in order for a family to be eligible for that, this piece would need to be reported, so that way then the district knows who those families are and can then follow up with those families to complete the additional information required to be able to receive that. So some points to consider as you're completing this section. So I'm going to click on a household income here for our sample family. You have the opportunity to go back to any of the sections you already completed if necessary. Otherwise, you will click on Save. We've completed the first section for household information. Now the system has moved us on to the parent information. On this screen, you will be asked to review and or update the information for the parents who are listed in the system for the student. Notice that these are both flagged as incomplete because they have not been reviewed for the current school year. So I am going to go ahead and show you what that looks like. Only one of the parents for the student will need to complete this process. So if once one parent has completed it, in the system it'll be noted, and then once, if for whatever reason the second parent were to log in, not knowing that their spouse or the student's other parent has already completed this, you'll see that notification once you log in that it has been completed. So I'm going to click on the first parent here, asked to review the information listed to make sure that it's still correct. Respond to the question listed there. Does the person live at the address below? You can click yes if that's the case, and you move right along. If no, you have the opportunity then to include a new address for that parent. If it is a situation where there has been a separation, of the couple, or you don't, the person completing this does not have the address of the other parent. You can indicate that you will not provide the address, and then that the other parent will be responsible for providing that to the enrollment center to update the student records. For purpose of this, again, I'm going to acknowledge and say yes if the person still does live at the address listed. We're going to click next. This particular parent does not have an email registered with us in the system, so it does require that every parent have an email attached, so that way they can receive pertinent communication from San Jose Unified And there is a note here specifying that for each parent, there must be a unique email, so not a duplicate email between two parents. So I am going to add in a generic email for purpose of this so we can move forward. Phone number is already included here. Again, you have the opportunity to update that if necessary. Otherwise, you're going to click on save if the email and cell phone is correct. And then you can also select the preferred language of correspondence that you want to receive information from San Jose Unified. After clicking save for parent 1, we're then prompted to complete the same process for parent 2. So for purpose of this, I'm just going to go ahead and click next, verifying that all of this information is correct. This parent does have an email already attached, so everything looks good here. Cell phone, we're going to click on save. And then save and continue if once you've completed the information for both of the parents. If in the situation where, again, there has been a change in the household structure and a new parent is to be added, the person completing this process does have the opportunity to begin that process here. You'll click on add new parent and then add the information there. Do know that, again, this will be flagged with enrollment and some additional information may be required to be able to complete it so that the information is stored in the system. So we're going to cancel that adding of the new parent and click on save. Having now completed the parent information review, we are being moved on to the emergency contact review. So on this screen, you have the opportunity to review and or update the information for all of the emergency contacts already listed for your student. In this particular case, we have 4 emergency contacts listed. Again, they're all flagged as incomplete because they haven't been reviewed for the current school year. So we're going to click on the first one. Check that the information is still correct. If so, we click on next for the emergency contact listed. At least one phone number is required to be listed for the emergency contact. So if this particular section were to be blank, we do require that a phone number be added. In this case, it's already there. And an email is listed as well. So we're going to go ahead and click save. This person's information looks good. We're now going to move on to our second emergency contact. Again, information is listed there for you. In the event that an emergency contact that you have is someone you no longer would like listed on the students, attached to the students in the information system, you have the option to select no to no longer consider that person an emergency contact. It will provide you a prompt just making sure that you want to deactivate this person. They will no longer be attached to the student in the system. So you have the opportunity there, the option there to confirm if that's the way you want to go, or to cancel if you still want to leave them attached to the student for any given reason. Perhaps the family has moved out temporarily but will be back. So in that particular case, that may be someone you want to leave there for when they do return, if they will continue to be a contact for your child. So in this case, we're going to say leave it as a yes, click next. Again, we'll be prompted to check for cell phone and email if necessary. At the very least, a cell phone is required since these are individuals that will be contacted in the event of an emergency. And in the event of an emergency, obviously, we want to be able to reach them by phone because the email response may not be as quick. So we're going to click save for this person. We're going to review the information for the following 2 here very quickly. I'm just going to confirm all the information there for those 2 so we can move ahead. And save there. At the bottom, you do have a button for adding a new emergency contact. So if that's the way that you would like to go, you would click on that button and then add the information for the person that you would like to add. And then save once you are done. It also informs you that these individuals listed below are already included or attached to this student in a particular way. This is just to avoid the duplication of creation of duplicate records. So, we wouldn't want to recreate these people as new emergency contacts if they're already listed or if they're already connected to the student in some way. So once everything looks good on this screen, we're going to go ahead and click save and continue. On this next portion of the information review, we are asked to review information for any other household members that might be listed. For this particular family, there are no records available. However, you may have someone living with you who perhaps is not an emergency contact for any given reason. Perhaps they are an elderly person who would not be able to pick up the child anyway, or someone who physically may be unable to respond to an emergency at the school site if the parent was unavailable. So they may be people who live in the household, just would not be considered emergency contacts for those or other reasons. You have the opportunity to add a new household member if you'd like to there. We do ask if families can enter all siblings under the age of 5 and any siblings currently attending San Jose Unified School District schools if they are not already listed here on this screen. And if there is nothing to add, you would click on Save and Continue. If you would like to add someone, click on the button, and again, you'll be prompted to enter the information for that particular person. In this case, we're going to click Save so we can move on. In this fifth portion of the process, we are now going to review information for each of the students listed. So we will essentially be working through the same process 3 different times for the 3 different students. Again, information has not been reviewed this school year for each student, so they're flagged as incomplete. We're going to begin with the first student listed here. And we're going to review their demographic information, name, birth date, etc. You have the option there to add any new information you'd like, such as a nickname, a cell phone number for a student, which sometimes appear in our system. However, those are not required. Only the sections with the asterisk are required. So if everything looks good there, you're going to click on Next. Next, we're prompted to provide information about the student's living situation. So you have a drop-down menu there where you're going to reply with the living situation that most or best describes your students' residence. So most of our students will be living in a single-family home, an apartment, or a dwelling similar to that. So most will complete that, but there is the option to select one of the other living situations listed here. If the student is an unaccompanied minor, which would be a very, very small percentage of our population, if any, the individual completing this for the student would indicate their yes or no. For purpose of this one, we're going to say no. And then there's information here about our some of our services. McKinney-Vento, which is our district's homeless or unhoused liaison. So information there in the event that that's needed for this particular family. So we're going to click on Next here to move ahead. For the student that we're currently completing, they happen to be an elementary age student. So there are some options here that the family will be presented with regard to programs and schooling options. So you can learn more about those by clicking on this link to learn more about what a magnet school is and what a two-way bilingual immersion program at a school is. If there's no interest, you'll click on No and you'll be moving on. If you are interested after reviewing the program offerings, if you click Yes, you'll be prompted there to select the school that you may be interested in, if you're interested in a magnet, or the school choices indicating your first, second, third, and fourth choice if you're interested in a two-way bilingual immersion program. So for purpose of this, again, we're going to say no. We're going to move ahead with a review of the relationship of the individuals listed as parents, and then the opportunity to alter the sequence in which you want the parents contacted. So currently we have our first parent listed as the second contact and our second parent listed as the first, so you have the opportunity to make any adjustments you need to there. If everything looks good, you'll click on Next. And then for the emergency contacts, you're once again providing the relationship to the student and then selecting or modifying the contact sequence if that is something you want to update. So the person here listed as a third contact, if for a particular reason they now should be lower in the sequence for the emergency contacts, that you can make those changes here using the drop-down menus. It may not let me continue if I don't select the relationship for this particular student, so let's go ahead and click on Next. And we see that we are prompted to add a relationship, so please do make sure that each of these individuals has a relationship to the student before moving forward. Okay, here we're reviewing the siblings in the household, so we're going to click on next there. Everything looks okay. This particular student does not have any current medical or mental health conditions identified or included in the information that we have. So if that's still currently the case, you will click on next. However, if there has been a change and the student now does have a condition that you would like alerted to the school, you can click on yes, and then you can add the condition that you would like. And there's a drop-down menu that includes a variety of conditions, and then you have also a field box where you can include any additional comments, information, or special instructions for your child. If your child has an existing condition and we were to see something listed here, you also have the opportunity to remove the condition or to indicate that the condition is no longer in place. So we're going to click on continue with the no that was originally there. Click on next. If your child will require medication at school, we ask the parents review the school medication permission form and the process for that, so you're aware of what needs to happen in case you need an inhaler or some other medication to be stored at the school for your child during the day. We're going to move on and say next. Children and Youth Behavioral Health Initiative. So this is a notice about free behavioral and mental health services available to students starting in July of 2025. So there's an opportunity here for students who may receive some kind of mental health services provided at no cost to families through Sentence Unified. There's now an initiative that allows Sentence Unified to bill the insurances. So more information is provided in the link here, and the family can authorize whether or not to provide consent. So if you have health insurance, you can indicate here yes. If you do not, you can indicate no. And then the parent can then authorize there whether you want your insurance billed for any services that are qualified services that are provided. So the parent can indicate yes or no whether to authorize. Insurance provider fields are provided here. Notice that they're not denoted with the red asterisk, so it is not required that you complete this information, but you have the option to do so if you'd like. So moving forward, the other piece here that we inform families about is that there are some services that the district provides for families who receive benefits through Medi-Cal, where Medi-Cal will reimburse the districts for the services that are provided, and then any funds that are reimbursed are then used to provide additional services for families or for students that are allocated to schools or departments in Sentence Unified to utilize for that purpose. So the parents have an option here to either consent or decline the reimbursement from Medi-Cal to the school district for any of those services. So whether you select yes or no does not impact your child's benefits. No fees or costs are associated. It is simply a way for the district to be reimbursed for some of those services. So I'm going to go ahead and just click on one of these options here to move us along. You will then be asked to either opt in or out to the media publication. So occasionally there may be photographs taken at school sites. We have a communications department that may be highlighting certain events and activities happening at our school sites. So there may be photographs or video taken at our schools that are sometimes used in our brochures on the website, perhaps on our social media pages. So the parent or family has an opportunity here to indicate whether their student may appear in photographs, video, etc., or not. Please know that if you do select no, your student will also not appear in any class photos, yearbooks, etc. So something to consider when you're making your decision there. We're going to click on next, and then finally, there are directories that are released to some agencies, primarily around college recruitment and military recruitment. This would pertain mostly to upper grade students in high school. However, you have there the opportunity to select either yes or no, whether or not to release directory information to those agencies. Once you have completed these sections, again, there are quite a few acknowledgments here and reviews and updates for the students in particular. Then you'll go ahead and click on Save. Once completing the first student, you'll be prompted to do the same thing for the second and third student. For purposes of this tutorial, I'm going to go ahead and complete them, but they won't show up in the recording here. And we're going to skip over to the next section right after this. Once you have completed the previous 5 sections, the final step will be to sign and submit your application. So to do so, you will click on the icon here, click here to sign. It will generate a digital signature for you. Click on the sign button, and then you can click submit. Prior to submitting, you can also go back through the previous sections to review the information that you entered. You can also click on the application summary PDF. Clicking on that will generate a PDF for you to review if you don't want to go back through each of the individual sections. So you can review it in either of those 2 ways, and once you are done, you'll click submit. Once you click submit, when you go back to the home page, you'll receive a notification that your status is complete, so no further action necessary at that point. Again, if the second parent were to log in shortly thereafter, not having communicated with the first parent, they will be able to see here that the process is complete as well. And if you'd like to review the responses, again, you can click on review, and you can review all of the information that was entered. We hope that this was helpful in providing a quick preview of what to expect as you work through this process. Again, everything can be accessed in the Infinite Campus campus parent page. If you have any questions during the summer as this is released and heading into next school year, the first point of contact for questions should be the school site. If your school site happens to be a site that is closed for portions of the summer, elementary schools should be open through June. Secondary schools are open most of the summer, may have some downtimes here and there. In the event that that occurs, you can contact our San Jose Unified School District office, the Family Engagement Office, at 408-535-6000. Ask for the Office of Family Engagement, and they will connect you to someone who can answer a question. If you have a technical issue that needs to be resolved, you can't get into the portal, once again, visit our website, search for Parent Portal, and the information listed here will guide you in connecting with someone if you need additional support. Thank you very much for your time. We look forward to receiving your responses, making sure that all of our students' information is current and up to date. And we look forward to seeing you in the upcoming school year. Thank you.